Fort Lauderdale, Florida, this is NAB Show Live.
Hey guys, welcome back to Intro to Video Production from Broadcast Beat. I'm Addison Ricky, and today I'm going to be teaching you some of the basics of video lighting. Video lighting can make a huge difference in the look of your project. Poor lighting, like this, can make your shots look unprofessional and unappealing to the eye, even when shot with a high-quality Blackmagic Ursa. Shots like this that are well lit look professional and beautiful, even on a phone camera. In this video, I'm going to teach you the basics of lighting and a common technique called three-point lighting. But before I get into how to light, I want to talk about the types of lights so you understand what's available and the pros and cons. First, we have tungsten lights. Tungsten lights are the most common lights available, and they're what most people use in lamps and fixtures around their house, and also when we get ideas. Tungsten lights are cheap and bright. You can get very bright tungsten lights for only a couple of dollars at your local hardware store and put together a great impromptu light kit. The trade-off for this cheap light though is energy usage. Tungsten lights use a lot more power than other types of lights, and in the process they produce tons of heat. So when your sound guy complains that the AC is making too much noise, prepare to sweat. Another downside to tungsten lights is its color. Tungsten light is always an orangish color, which is much different than the blue light that we get from daylight. This becomes an issue when you're shooting, say, near an open window. You have a bluish daylight coming in the window and an orange light coming from your tungsten light, and your camera can't compensate or white balance to both colors of light. This results in a very distinct look that probably isn't what you intended. Next up is fluorescent lights, and these come in tubes or traditional socket bulbs. Unlike tungsten lights, fluorescent can come in different colors such as tungsten orange or daylight blue, or a number of other crazy colors like green, purple, and so on. Fluorescent lights also consume much less power and produce less heat, but they also cost more. The last type of lights that I'm going to cover in this video is LED lights. LED lights are awesome. They can be a variety of different colors, some can even change colors, and they use very little power and produce almost no heat. The trade-off here is cost, but fortunately, they last a very long time. There's also HMI lights and a few others, but we won't go into those in this video. Now that you know the different kinds of lights, let's learn how to use them in some basic three-point lighting. Three-point lighting is a technique used to light a subject, such as a person, animal, or product, in your video. And as the name implies, it involves three basic components: key light, fill light, and backlight. And these don't have to actually be lights, as you will soon see. So here's our beautiful model under bland house lights. It's boring, flat, and nothing in particular draws your attention. So let's fix it. First, we start with a key light. This is our primary light that lights our subject, and I'll offset it about 45 degrees from the camera. This is the brightest light, and it draws your audience's focus to the subject. I'm using a fluorescent light that's colored to look orangish like tungsten, but because my camera is white balanced for tungsten, it appears white in the video. Next up, we have a fill light offset to the opposite 45. Fill light is used to fill in the shadows of your subject so they aren't so dark. But we don't want to completely get rid of them because the shadows give your subject depth and make the subject look more interesting. This light fixture happens to be the same type of light as the key light, so let's dim this light down a bit. Fortunately, this light has a dimmer, but not all lights have that ability. So what are some other options? Well, we can move the light back some, which will reduce the amount of light reaching the subject. Or we can use diffusion to knock it down a bit. Another option is to use a reflector instead of a light. A reflector can reflect the light of your key light or backlight to create a nice soft fill. Finally, we have backlight or hair light. For this, I'm using a 650 watt tungsten light to exaggerate the effect. This lights your subject from behind and usually above, giving them a thin light around their head and shoulders. Knees and toes. Sorry. This helps separate your subject from the background and gives them a nice cinematic look. And this is the final result. Again, key, fill, and backlight. But these are just basic guidelines for cinematic lighting, not rules that you have to follow. You can use just one or two of these lights, and you can position them completely different than I have to get different looks. So experiment and find looks that you like. Make sure you do your research before picking which lights are right for you. There's a lot of great stuff out there and in every price range. And if you go with tungsten, don't burn down the set. But I hope this video has been a great starting point for you and you now have a basic understanding of video lighting. I hope you all have a great day and continue to come back for more intros to video production from Broadcast Beat. Oh wait,